For the first time in a long time, I'm again investing in myself and in my dreams to pursue my music, and if that doesn't work and if I fail, I won't have any regrets.
Yeah, I failed. Oh, I mean, oh boy, what a journey everyone. So that footage was from a video that I did at the beginning of 2020 where I was so excited because I had just quit my day job. I was working in a kinder for the past 3 years, and I got to the point where I was like, why not give my dream a try? I wanted to be a musician and do singing, and I thought, what do I have to lose? Little did I know what 2020 would bring globally, but I was bold and I made the choice and I quit my job and I decided to move back with my lovely mum. I know not everyone has that privilege, so I do acknowledge that. I moved back in and I was like, okay, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna work on my music daily, and I'm gonna be a star. How hopeful I was. So this video is basically for anyone that is contemplating quitting their day job to follow their dreams, anyone who's right in the middle of it, or someone who is kind of towards the end of it, because it's coming from someone who's gone through it and is potentially viewed as a failure, as I really don't have the numbers or anything like that to show success. I thought I could offer some tips, some things of what not to do, what I should have done better, and some mental health tips. So I'm gonna do like practical and then mental health, so I hope it's helpful. So let's get to it. A very quick disclaimer, I'm not a professional, not claiming to be, just a little human on the world who's lived a few things, had a few experiences, and I'm just sharing my advice. So for all of 2020, yes, we had all the awful stuff happen that's still going around in many places in the world. But my very much almost 100% of my focus was music, solely. Not really, I didn't have time off that. That was my choice and I enjoyed it. But I worked like from January all the way through, I think it was September, October, and I just like had I call it my mini breakdown. I felt crushed. I felt really crushed because I had done the absolute best that I could have done. I worked so hard. I felt like I had done everything in my power to get successful, and it's really hard with the arts because the only way you're gonna make money off the arts is if people see it. So I was just looking at the numbers and I was like, I have none of that. I worked my butt off this whole year and I have nothing, and no one cares. And I just had to stop music. I didn't do it for months. I was like, I can't do it anymore. It's too hard. So my point is, yes, I think it is, like this is the thing, it's going to be your decision whether you dedicate 100% of your time to that thing. But looking back for me, I think it would have been so helpful if I just chose one thing, just one thing that was completely unrelated. Like it could have been like playing a sport, going to do hockey, doing something with other people that is at all, it is completely removed from that passion. Because I don't know, everything, all my effort and energy was dedicated to my dream and none of it worked. And it just hurt so much, that realization. And perhaps if you have something else that is bringing you joy, that you're putting your effort in, that you still have that to kind of ground you, I would recommend, from my perspective, like to me, but again, you might be different, but that's just something that I didn't at all expect or plan for. And yeah, not tying all your worth into that one thing. If you're thinking about quitting your day job to follow your passion, your dream, I would encourage you to ask yourself, is it going to be a hobby or is it going to be a professional job? Because I do think, especially in this entrepreneur kind of hustle culture, the idea of something being a hobby is almost, it's never said, but almost like it's looked down upon and a little bit judged. And if you really want to be taken seriously in your passion, it needs to be a job and you need to be able to monetize it. And I would ask yourself, does it have to be a job? Or can I simply do the job I'm doing now and carve out more time to do the thing I love? If you're like, no, I need it to be my profession, cool, go do that. If you're like, actually maybe I'm happy for it to be hobby, cool, do that. I'm not saying what to do, I'm just saying maybe just ask yourself that, because it might be something you haven't really thought of. So if you quit your job, what's the plan? Of course, it would be amazing in the world if we were all successes and our hard work paid off and everything worked out fine and we got the dream job and within that year we became super successful and millionaires, yada yada. It didn't happen for me. I'm not saying it's not gonna happen for you, but what's your plan money-wise? Do you have friends to stay with? Do you have family to stay with? Do you have savings? How long are those savings gonna last? I know this isn't really the fun, exciting stuff you really want to think about, but I think if you then have a plan, if things don't go the way you want, then you're prepared. I think that, you know how they always say plan for the worst? So not that you're hoping that worst will happen, but just so you're prepared. So just another thing to think about. This is something that I neglected, and in hindsight I'm really realizing, oh, it's something I should have paid more attention to. The whole notion of it's who you know, not what you know. And that is something that I just, maybe I didn't even think about. My 100% of my attention went to, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna practice my vocals, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna write songs, I'm gonna do this, that, blah. I'm gonna do social media, I'm gonna try my best to get my name out there. But there is something I think we all know. Okay, I'll give an example. My first job, I worked in a pathology as a lab assistant. I got that job because my mum worked there. And it was an entry-level job, but the manager at the time said, hey, does your daughter, she just finished high school, does she want a job there for 6 months? That is how I got it. I don't even know if that job was advertised, because you know what I mean? It matters who you know, and so I have privilege and luck on that aspect. That was how I got my first job. And it applies with your passions as well. And it is something that I still don't really have the skills around. I don't really have the knowledge of like, how do you actually get to know the people that are gonna help you in the room, you know? And then it feels a bit funny to be like, oh, I'm just gonna get to know them because they're gonna help with my career. I didn't want it to be like that either. So I honestly don't have the answer for that. I simply mention it now as a prompt for you to perhaps really consider that. My way of going about it was like, okay, if I get a social media following, that's going to help me. I did not succeed in that. This video should just be like, I failed over and over again. My tips. And I don't want that to make you feel helpless. The thing of like, oh, I live in this country, I'm never going to meet the people, like the gatekeepers that are going to help me in this, because we do live in the internet and it is very helpful. But yeah, I would say just don't neglect the power contacts have and how you go about it. I'm not going to say how to do it because I don't really know myself. But it is something that I was like, I could write the best damn song and yet I would have no one to really listen to it because I don't have a large social media following and I don't know the right people. Do you know what I mean? So just think about that. Something to work on, I suppose. Okay, so I think it's nice to acknowledge your little wins. So whether you're pursuing to be a singer, or I don't know, whether you're trying to do things on social media or you're writing a book, because you're so focused on doing it daily, for me, I forgot to give myself a thumbs up or pat myself on the back for it. Because you're just like, oh, I have to do it every day. I'm just gonna do it every day. I'm gonna get better. This is what I'm doing. And I think just take the time to acknowledge, wow, this whole week I got up and I worked on my thing, even if I didn't want to. And because I think when you're in the hustle, I hate that word, but in the go, 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 I gotta get better. I'm running out of time. I gotta achieve this. I don't think I did that enough, and I think it would have been helpful to sustain myself, because I think I was viewing it a little bit more as a sprint. I was kind of just because it feels like such a big, bold choice, doesn't it? Like quitting your job to follow your dreams, and you see all these videos on YouTube of success stories, like I quit my job and now I make 200,000 on YouTube, and you're like, oh maybe I can do it. And I'm here to be that person that say I didn't do it, I failed, I tried my best, and I'm still okay. I came out the other end and I'm okay. But just to put that other side of the story out onto the internet. So yeah, as someone who has failed, and I know that's a very harsh term, but I'm thinking more of the perspective of how potentially society could view it as like, oh, you quit your job to follow your dreams and what happened. I don't view it as failure. I am very happy what I did last year. I'm so proud of the work I put in last year. I'm really proud of being able to essentially get out of that little mental slump and really get to the root of what it is that I want and where my value lies. And I still struggle with that sometimes, but I'm not saying I'm cured. But I achieved a lot last year that the world couldn't, you know, I don't think would necessarily put that much value on, but I value it and I have no regrets. And I'm so happy I quit my job to follow my dreams. Even though it didn't work out, I know myself better. And now it's like, once you fail, you realize no one cares. You know, most people don't really, like, I have not had one single person in my life, maybe behind my back, I don't know, but not one single person in my life has been like, oh, so you quit your job to do music, oh, that didn't work out, did it? Awkward. Like, no one has said that. No one cares, in the nicest way possible. Everyone's living their own life. Everyone has their own problems. Everyone has their own passions and dreams, and everyone's so self-involved. So I guess once now that I failed, I'm like, eh. So most of my YouTube videos now are lucky to get past the 20 view mark, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this might, I don't know, I'm like, am I weird to keep doing this despite that fact? But I'm enjoying it. It gives me something to do, and I think even just looking back at the video at the very beginning, I've improved. I think the quality is better. I think, you know, that I got lighting on microphone. I think I'm a little bit better at constructing what I'm going to say, and I'm proud of that. And there is so much more to life than just external success. There's so much to enjoy in life. And the pursuit of a dream is not always going to be fun and easy. It's going to be probably hard, like most of the time. But you're doing it. You're doing it. And I don't have regrets. And I hope that this has helped at least someone. Hi 20. I hope this has helped at least, you know, one of my 20 viewers. Thank you for coming back and watching my videos. I hope you liked them, and I know this was a bit different, but that's all I have to say. And yeah, until next time, bye.